I'm Julia, and today I'm going to talk about sustaining our world and how MSC's greenhouse helps. First, I would like to talk to you a little about the ebb and flow. The ebb and flow is one of 5 systems in the greenhouse. It is where I work. The system works where plants are in baskets, and they are watered using a timer. The cycle is that every hour the water is pumped up from an electric-powered pump, and it floods the roots for 15 minutes and then drains back into the reservoir. While I was working in the ebb and flow, I wondered about what our world would be like in, say, 50 years. I set up an experiment to find out about climate change's drastic effects on sustainability. Climate change is a big problem on our planet. In fact, it can negatively affect human life if it affects our ability to nurture plants. I conducted an experiment testing how plants react to hot climate, cold climate, and a more seasonable climate. The plant in the hot climate got dehydrated and died, and the plant in the colder climate did better but did not thrive and eventually died. The natural plant thrived and grew, just as one might expect. The solution to this problem is simple. My immediate solution to this problem is to isolate plants from uncontrolled weather, quite similar to the low line as presented last year. I could use a light that simulates sunlight so these plants and others would get sun. This will allow plants to grow in a more natural environment. Working in the greenhouse made me realize the effects of warmer climate and that we must protect our plants for future generations.
Hi, my name is Linsley. My sustainability project is about how plants can be affected by changes in migration patterns caused by climate change. Animals migrate primarily to follow food sources through the seasons. Today, because of global warming, it is getting warmer everywhere. Over time, this will change migration patterns. Changes in migration patterns don't just affect migrating animals, it also affects the plants migrating animals eat. If migration patterns change, the plants that are usually eaten by migrating animals would not be eaten. This could change the balance in the plant ecosystem. To test this hypothesis, we did an experiment. We took a tray of rockwool and we overplanted it with radish and celery seeds. Radish seeds grow faster than celery seeds. When the radishes had grown to about 2 inches and the celery is about 1 inch, we divided the rockwool in half. On the side of the tray, we pulled some plants out. This was represent a migrating animal grazing. On the other side of the tray, we left it alone. Then we waited to see what would happen. The next week, we observed our project. The 2 sides of the tray looked different. On the one side of the tray, we pulled some plants that represent a migrating animal grazing. There was a healthy mix of radish and celery plants. However, on the other half of the tray where we did not pull out any plants, there were more plants and most of the celery plants had yellow leaves. This was probably because the radishes had overgrown and blocked a lot of the sun from the celery plants. This experiment could become reality in many places where the ecosystem relies on migrating animals to graze and keep a healthy mix of vegetation. This is one way global warming can lead to a long-term ecosystem decline and loss of biodiversity. Thanks.